This is a download from the BBC. For more information and our terms of use, go to bbcworldservice.com/podcasts.
This is 6 Minute English. I'm Yvonne Archer, and thanks to Alice for joining me today.
Hi, Yvonne.
Hi. Now, when people in the UK reach the ripe old age of 100, something rather special usually arrives in the post for them.
Yes, they get a congratulatory card from the Queen.
Exactly. But it seems that the Queen will have to send out lots more cards in the future. But before we hear why, are you ready to answer today's question, Alice?
Yes, ready and waiting.
Grand. The oldest female to complete a marathon was from the United States, but how old was she? A, 92, B, 97, or C, 101 years old?
Oh, that's difficult. They're all quite old. Because we're talking about people over the age of 100, I'll guess 101 years old.
Good answer, but as usual, you'll have to wait until the end of today's 6 Minute English to find out if you're right or wrong. Now, reaching the age of 100 used to be quite rare, unusual, but government figures show that in 2009 there were 11,600 people over that age here in the UK.
That's quite a lot.
Exactly. Well, that number is set to rise because it's expected that more than 3 million of today's under-16s will live to be centenarians. Alice, explain what a centenarian is for us, please.
A centenarian is someone who's reached 100 years old or older.
Wow. Let's hear more on that from Fran Cartwright of Age UK, who's at an exercise class for the over 70s.
Well, people are living longer. We have wonderful clients here who are approaching 100. They're still exercising. So by mental and physical activity, they can achieve that.
In that class, there are clients who are almost 100 years old, and they're still exercising.
Yes, and Fran Cartwright from Age UK says they can achieve the age of 100 through mental activity and physical activity by exercising both mind and body.
Right, well, here's how one woman in the exercise class compares herself and her friends with her own great-grandmother.
My great-grandma, she was, I thought they were ancient. But we're not today, are we? We're reasonably healthy.
The woman and her friends are all over the age of 70. Some of them are great-grandparents too, but she wouldn't describe them in the same way that she'd describe her own great-grandmother, would she?
No, she describes her own great-grandmother as ancient, so old that she was almost an antique or even prehistoric.
Dear. And in contrast, at a similar age, the woman says that she and her friends are reasonably healthy. They're in fairly good health. But here's how two young people feel about the possibility of an extended old age, living longer than they'd expect to.
It would be an achievement living that long, but I won't be able to do much then. I'll probably be sitting around in a chair.
I don't think it will be fun because you gotta live with strangers which you don't know.
Well, they don't seem too enthusiastic about living until 100 and possibly beyond, do they?
No, they don't. Although the first young man said that he thought it would be an achievement to live that long. He doesn't think he'll be able to do much by then, except sit around in a chair.
And the second young man thinks that being old won't be any fun because he'll have to live with strangers, people he doesn't know, rather than with friends and family.
But government figures seem to say otherwise, predicting that 1 in 4 children in Britain will live until they're 100 years old.
So hopefully both young men are wrong about what will happen to them when they're old. Alice, did I tell you that I've got a friend who's now 102 years old?
You did. What an achievement. And she's still very active, isn't she?
Definitely. She was dancing at her sister's 100th birthday party just last weekend. And what about your sprightly, lovely grandfather, Alice?
Yeah, my grandpa's over 90 and he does lots of crosswords. I think it keeps his mind very active.
Excellent. And to keep your mind active, Alice, back to today's quiz. Earlier, I told you that the oldest female to complete a marathon was from the United States. But was she 92, 97 or 101 years old?
I guessed 101 years old.
And unfortunately, you were wrong. She was actually 92 years old, and it only took her 9 hours and almost a minute.
Fantastic. I hope we'll be able to do that when we get into our 90s.
Let's hope so. And, more importantly, that we're really healthy too. But that's all for 6 Minute English from BBC Learning English. Do join us again soon. Goodbye.
Bye.
That was 6 Minute English from bbclearningenglish.com.